Having done gas station and convenience store loans for a long time, people always ask, what are some of the reasons or what are some of the main reasons that gas station loans don't close? I would say one of the reasons at the very top, and this is really more applicable to acquisition or purchase financing than anything else, is the borrower slash buyer and the seller not knowing if there's any deed restrictions on the property. Because if you don't know what kind of deed restrictions, brand covenants, right of first refusal are on the property, you're not going to know what type of financing is going to be available. If the store has been owned by an oil company once upon a time, there's most likely going to be a deed restriction on it, and it's probably not going to be eligible for SBA financing. We've been fortunate on some occasions to get that done, but usually when we've been successful, it's been on stations that have been lower volume stores and probably not the what's referred to as a pumper, a gas station or C-store that pumps a lot of fuel each month. And so if the gas station is one of those, it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to get an oil company to remove a deed restriction. But we have been successful in the past, but again, only with situations where they were small volume stations. So how do you find out? Well, the easiest thing to do is just run a preliminary title first of all. If you run a preliminary title, and that's going to show you if there's a deed restriction. And if you get a copy of the supply agreement that the seller has, you're probably going to notice in there if there's any restrictions for brand covenants or right of first refusal in case of default. Lenders really just want to be able to, if someone defaults on a loan and it goes into foreclosure, they just want to be able to sell the property. And in case of a lot of the oil companies, they want to make sure that they have plenty of time to exercise their right of first refusal to purchase the property and then keep it branded the same brand. So as you can imagine, that does make it more difficult from the financing point of view. So in summary, just make sure when you're purchasing a property, find out, because a lot of times the realtors don't necessarily know and the sellers may or may not know. If there is a deed restriction on it, and the easiest way to accomplish that is by pulling a preliminary title on it. Thanks so much for listening to this, and good luck.